Hello there. Some of the leading brains of Britain have come out to make the case for the UK's exit from the EU. Nearly 40 of our top intellectuals have got together to try and put an end to the claim by Remainers that Brexiteers are thick and uneducated. The group is led by the economist Dr Graham Gudgin and the historian Professor Robert Toombs, and includes some who voted for the Remain side in 2016's referendum. In the first such intervention since the vote, renowned economists, lawyers, philosophers, historians, scientists and experts in foreign and domestic policy warn it is wrong to see Britain's intellectual leaders as pro-Remain, reports the Sunday Times. Toombs and Gudgin say that they have been alarmed and shocked, firstly by the undisguised contempt shown by a vocal and influential minority against the 17.4 million people who voted to leave, and secondly by the wave of exaggerated and often simply dishonest propaganda used to try and undermine the referendum result as well as the UK government negotiations. Writing in Brexit Central, they say, "But too many academics, led by the official institutions that employ them, appear to have been swayed by their own individual and corporate advantage. Others seem content to represent an ivory tower elite, insensitive to the wider national interest, including the interest of people less privileged than themselves." And on setting up the group, Briefings for Brexit, they write, "As experts in a variety of subjects, we were angered by the distortions that were being used to browbeat the electorate. Some of us had voted Leave and some Remain, but we agreed that the issue had been legally and democratically decided, and to try to reverse the decision was sterile, divisive and frankly dangerous." So their take seems to be not about rerunning the referendum or trying to work out which side had the most academic accolades or saying that clever people should tell the rest of us how we should be governed. No, it is about uniting and applying their considerable grey matter to the job at hand and making a success of the democratic wishes of the people. I hope all Remainers are that intelligent. Well, they tell me they are. Dr Graham Gudgin is also one of the 4 economists that produced a working paper for the University of Cambridge that highlighted the flaws of the economic gravity model when forecasting the effects of Brexit on the UK economy. I did a video on this called "That Leaked Brexit Study." And Dr Gudgin has continued that theme on Briefings for Brexit with an article called "Recent Estimates of the Economic Impact of Brexit," which he ends by saying, "Finally, the leaked DexU report represents a new departure in the Brexit debate. A confidential report which predicts negative consequences without any indication of who generated the predictions or what methods were used. Needless to say, this is a completely unsatisfactory way to conduct government business." I would go further. If certain people within this establishment can get away with this sort of manipulation today, they will do it again, and probably then have to compound it to either justify or cover up their previous misbehaviour, all with disastrous consequences for the UK and the people in it. But all this doesn't seem to have stopped George Soros from his attempts to keep the UK in the EU. On top of funding anti-Brexit groups, he has now called on the EU to regulate social media because the use of social media by big corporations can influence how people think and behave without them even being aware of it, and this interferes with the functioning of democracy and the integrity of elections. So I have to ask if he is expecting the anti-Brexit people he has funded to use social media to try and influence people of the UK into reversing the 2016 referendum. Anyway, I keep saying that the EU that we voted to leave no longer exists, and it is continuing its journey towards its final destination of an ever more centrally controlled unitary superstate. And that I believe that is not a place that the majority of Brits want to be. And in an article called The Remainers' Dead End, the editor of CapX, Oliver Wiseman, wrote, "But the truth is that Europe was already moving away from Britain and has continued to do so since we voted leave. The thing we left isn't really there for us to return to, something which will become ever more the case as Britain and Europe continue down their separate paths." Now, looking at defence and foreign policy, although Theresa May pleased Brexiteers yesterday by saying that the UK will be taking back full control of foreign and defence policy, as well as peacekeeping, diplomacy and aid, as soon after Brexit as possible, she has once again said that the UK's commitment to defending Europe is unconditional. Do I have to keep reminding people that Europe and the European Union are two completely different things? For a start, the Russian Federation is part of one and not part of the other, and mixing the two together just confuses the issue. But I take it that what she really means is defending the member states of the European Union. So, is she really saying that we will leap to the blind defence of a political bloc that is doing its best to take our money, trade and finance away from us and stop us trading as we wish, all for some sort of hazy supposed moral reason? And in the final analysis, tying ourselves unconditionally to the defence of the EU ties us in unconditionally to the EU's foreign policy. Think about that the next time the EU gets its stick out and pokes the big Russian bear, or anyone else for that matter. What do you think? Please leave a comment below. Thank you. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.